Well, good morning, Wintergreen. Here we are once again, coming to you with a gentle yoga class. My name is Mike.
I'm David.
And hopefully you have already taken one or two of the classes before. But if not, this is your first time, we welcome you. And let's begin today's class. We're going to focus in on the 10 most important yoga poses. And I say that with a little smile because really they're the most important. 10, let's just call them foundational, essential poses that you'll see in many yoga classes. You'll see these poses. No sun salutations, right? We're not going to do the up dogs and the down dogs. So it's to be a little bit gentler. But regardless, let's begin with a little warm up before we start to work our way into the poses. So from this standing place, let's begin with just a little bit of movement through the body. And I'm going to kind of just start at the top and work my way down. So why don't we just start with letting the shoulders relax. I'm just going to get them get a little bit heavy. The arms are kind of hanging. And let your feet kind of settle in, maybe hips distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, just so you feel stable is what you want to feel. And then breathe. Start with just a few breaths. Just breathe in. Breathe out. Using your nose if it's clear. You breathe in through the nose. You breathe out. And then as we breathe in, let's lift the shoulders. And as you breathe out, let them fall. So I'm going to start with just lifting the shoulders up. Kind of scrunching up just a bit. And then when I exhale, I want to really let them just kind of, it's almost like they're sinking. So they kind of float up. And then as I exhale, they kind of sink down. Breathing in. Breathing out. And how about we add a little roll? So as I inhale, I lift them up. And as I exhale, I kind of roll. So we start to get a little roll over those shoulders. And it doesn't matter, even if it's not timed perfectly with your breath, it's okay. Just a nice, smooth breath, a nice, smooth roll through the shoulders. And then roll the other way, reverse the roll. And if they're ready, you start to work a little bit more into that, or just stay real soft and gentle, depending how it feels. I get a little cracks, little crinkles sometimes in there. Let's come back and take a moment, shake it around a little bit, move your feet around. All right, let's stay with these arms now. So from the shoulders, let's come down to the wrists. So I'm just going to do a few circles. So this is our open chain warm up, or open chain movement, because the hands are free. They're not fixed to the floor. They're free to move. So it's a gentle way to warm up the joint. And I'm going to do about 10 of these rotations in one way. And I'm going to start to work the elbows a little bit into that too. So you can move them around a bit. All right, now let's reverse it and go the other way. So no real pressure, we're just using gentle movement. All right, let's come back, shake it out a bit. Now I'm going to clasp the hands together, and I'm going to do a little more for the wrist. So I'm going to do a few of those circles and working it around. And if I want to, I can get a little bit deeper into that wrist. I can use one hand to create a little pressure in the other wrist. And flip it around. All right, then just take a moment and just do a few. You bring the hands into a fist and you open them up. In. So you make a little clench and then you're open. Clench, open. All right, shake it out a little bit. The wrist, it's good to have the wrist warm up. When we start to do cat cows, we start to come down the ground. We want the wrist to be ready for that. And let's come back to the shoulders. Round two, we're going to bring the arms out. I'm going to have them a little bit low, and I'm just going to do a few circles. And I'm reaching out, so I'm kind of stretching from fingertip to fingertip. And then as I do that, I just find a little bit of that movement. And now I'm going to go the other way. All right, come on back down. Let the arms just hang. You can wiggle it down a bit. And now let's come a little bit into the spine. So we'll start the cat-cows just by standing. So I'm going to stand sideways. Dave can stay out. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale and find a gentle back bend. Heart reaches out a bit. And when I exhale, I find a little arch. I'm going to bend my knees when I do that. I'm going to breathe in. And I'm going to exhale. And I'm not even thinking of a back bend. I'm thinking more of like lengthening my spine, my feet kind of ground down, and I reach the heart up. So it's always that length. And then the back bend's happening way up there at the thoracic area of your spine, your heart center, your chest. And going down and timing with the breath. One more time. You breathe in. We breathe out. And then we come back to the neutral position. And now we come a little bit lower, right? Before we come down to the legs, can we do a gentle twist for the spine? So let the arms hang. I'm letting my knees be a little soft. And here, I have a closed chains. My feet are on the ground. You may feel that as you twist. You may feel the weight. If you shift it, I shift it over to one leg. I feel it come right down into the ankle a little bit. And the foot. All right, now let's come back to the center. And now let's come down a little bit. Let's come right down to the ankle. So what I'm going to do, can't quite see it on our cutout, but you can imagine it. I'm just going to go a little bit wide. My feet are a little bit open. And I'm going to just do a little back and forth. I'll shift the camera so you can see how David has his feet. And I'm going to let my knees track out with my toes a bit. And what I want to do is I want to feel that compress down in the knee, but I also want to get down into that ankle space. So I'm bringing knee over the toes. Bring the knees right out over the toes. And I'm working a little bit into the top. You can hear my ankle clicking. I'm working in the top of the ankle here as well. And let's go on one side and hold it a little bit. So I'm going to come on one side, and I'm going to move it, the knee. I'm kind of having the knee go left to right. And I want to keep the foot, though, planted in the ground. So working through the ankle, and I'm working a little bit in the hip, too. I'm going to switch sides. Just a little back and forth. And now let's come back. Let's bring the feet together. And now let's work a little bit more in the ankle and the balance. I'm gonna, if your balance is not ready yet, bring your hand against the wall. I'm gonna lift up one leg, and now I'm gonna find some of those open chain movements. I'm gonna twirl around. And if your balance is ready, this is good. Good little challenge for your balance here. Arms are out, hands are together, and you're breathing as you twirl, as reverse it, go the other way. A little flex and stretch, right? The stretch is when you point it away, the flex is when you bring it up. All right, let's come down and switch sides. Take a moment. If you need that, hands on the wall. We're working through. Try to twirl it out a bit. Go the other way. A little stretch and a little flex. All right, let's come back down with that. Now for the knees, the warm up for the knees, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a few Kung Fu squats. So for this squat, what I'm having is I'm having my feet out a little bit wide, about hips distance a little bit wider. The feet are facing pretty much perpendicular, so I'm kind of squared up. And so when I come down, I'm just going to come down a little bit, and I want to squeeze things a bit in my quads and my glutes. And I'm just working a little bit in those knees, and then I'm going to come up. So really knees and quads, right? So I'm going to come down, and then for the glutes, I'm going to squeeze the glutes, come up. And you could use a wall here for balance if you need it. But reaching those arms out, but keeping the spine long. That's nice for the balance. Come down. And just depending on how you feel, and you go a little lower, maybe you're getting close to parallel to that ground. And we're just going to do 3 more, right? 2 more times. Come down. And then 1 more time. All right, come on back up. Shake it out. Kick it around a little bit. Let's finish this little pre-warm up, if you will, with a little bit of the hips, the hip flexors. So once again, balance if you need it, your hands on the wall. And this time for the hip flexor, I'm gonna lift up the leg, bring it down. I'm gonna start with just that basic movement, just straight lift. Down, nice posture as you do this. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling down. You breathe in, we lift. We breathe out, we release, all right? Breathe in. One more time on the side and we'll switch. All right, take a moment when you switch. Find your breath. And when you're ready, the left leg, I want to try to be very focused. Focus your attention right in that space, that hip area, right in the hip crease. That's your hip flexor, and that is lifting the leg up. Draw down. You don't have to go too high. It's like you're flossing these joints. So you're just going back and forth just to get it warmed up a bit. One more time. All right, part two, take a moment. Now we're going to open the hip up a bit. When we open the hip, this is going to come in handy when we come into our warrior twos. You want to have that hip ready to open. So let's begin by lifting it, opening up a bit, trying to keep your left leg square, bring it down, bring it up, and then I close it. And I'm going to keep, so the standing leg, we have our left leg as our standing leg. We're keeping it nice and square, and I'm being very smooth. I don't have to go too high when I lift that leg, all right? So I'm just warming it up, that space. All right, one more time on this right side. All right, then we switch sides. When you're ready, lift it, open it, and just see how it feels. Putting a hand in there can be nice too. Kind of give it the ligaments a little bit of support, and also draws your attention to that space. And then one more time, and we should be evened out. All right, come on back, take a moment, and come to your mountain pose, all right? Our first pose, after all that warming up, our Tadasana. So the feet are together, the arms are out to the side. I'm gonna let the shoulder relax a bit. Head nice and tall, let's say neck long. And you're breathing. Legs can be a little active here if you want to. You can engage those quads just a bit. And breathe, yogis, breathe. In, breathe out. And from here, we're going to slowly lower ourselves down. But let's do that kind of gracefully. So we'll see, we're going to inhale the arms up. And then as you exhale, a little fold. So as I fold down, I bend my knees, I'll go profile. So I'm going to bend my knees so it's comfortable. See if you can hang a few moments. My knees are bending, my weight's shifting a little bit forward. So if you can, your belly, your ribs are almost resting your thighs if they're not. And the head, just see if you can hang, relax. And then if you can, clasp your elbows. If your balance is good, you clasp your elbows and you sway a little bit side to side. And now I'm going to go a little lower. So I'm going to bring the hands down and I'm going to step feet back. I'm going to come down to my hands and my knees. All right. So take a moment, come down however you need to. We come into our tabletop pose. And how do we look? We look pretty good. Our camera's all right. Maybe I can. No, I think we're okay. So for our tabletop pose, this is our place where we want to start with our cat cow. So we'll come into those cat cows now for real. So take a moment. You want to bring your knees right under your hips. Your hands are right under your shoulders. And then when you inhale, that's your cow. Your belly can drop a bit. And then when you exhale, that's your cat. And you arch your back. All right, start slow. When you inhale, if you push the belly down just a bit, you'll feel that come into your low back, right? You can come a little bit in that low back. And then when you breathe out, you arch it up. And I'm not bending my elbows, so keeping my arms straight. I'm breathing in, you can look up a bit. And then when you breathe out, you come back a bit. Breathing in. For the shoulder blades, when you come to your cow, maybe you retract your shoulder blades a little bit. And when you come to your cat, you protract, you spread them out. Let's try that one more time. Breathe in. And you breathe out. And then you come back to the neutral position, right? Neutral spine. So take a moment there. We're coming to our second pose, a fundamental pose. It's your plank pose. So we'll give you a couple versions. I'll do the modified. Dave can do the full plank. So for this plank, what I'm going to do is step the feet back, and I'm going to bring the hands right up under the shoulders. Now I'm going to come down, or maybe Dave, you can do the modified because you're in the front. So you come down to your knees. See, notice he's going to come on your knees, but he can draw his knees back a little bit farther if he wants to work it a little bit more. And this is the extended arm plank, all the way up. Let's come down on the forearms. And when you come there, you can try different methods. You could have, Dave's got his forearms parallel. You could also bring them together. Either way. You could also try this with the forearms parallel, bring the palms to face up. It gives you a little different feel. I'll come back. So you can face the palms up. Now, wherever you are, let's really work this plank for a few breaths. So how do you work it? Well, first of all, make sure you're not collapsing your low back. So kind of tighten up your belly a bit, like you're bracing your belly. Someone's going to hit you. Brace it. Just fire up your glutes a bit. So tight body. Even if your knees are on the ground, you can still really, just with your mind, you really tense everything up nice and tight. And then you hold it, position out the breath. Keep breathing. One more breath, yogis. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let's come all the way down to the belly. All right, so I'm going to come down and take a moment when you get there. After that little work, let's take a little pause. I'm going to bring my right ear under the mat. I'm going to bring my arms back on the side of my body. And I just want to give my neck a few moments there. Just relax. And if you can, bring your feet together back there. Toes stay touching, big toes, but your heels, you let them fall out. It helps open up your low back. And then let's turn the head the other way. So try to get that left ear kind of sink in a little bit. It's a passive stretch for your neck, so I'm not very active in that. All right, now I'm going to come back to the middle. Now I'm going to come to our third pose, our cobra pose. So coming back, shins right in the middle. And what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to bring the hands. Let's start with a modified cobra. So let's start by just coming up, resting in our forearms, and I've got my elbows right under my shoulders. So I'm going to start with a modified one. So I'm using my forearms for a little bit of support. And what I want to do is just take a moment. Usually when you first come up, your shoulders are a little bit, they're kind of drawn into the neck. Draw the shoulders away from the neck. Kind of draw the shoulder blades together. And remember that lengthening through the spine. Maybe looking forward, maybe looking a little bit up. It's a gentle stretch, if you will, through that spine. And try to stay out of the low back and going up into the middle back, the thoracic area. All right, I'm going to release. So I'm going to come down for the modified cobra. Let's take a moment. Now for our cobra pose, we're going to bring the hands down right along the side of the body. I've got them right near the chest. I've got my elbows tucked in. And I'm going to lift up. I'm not going to push up. So I lift my head and my heart up and may not go up very high. I'm not pushing. If I start to push up, that becomes an up dog. I'm just lifting. So I'm really using my back muscles, strong back. My glutes can be engaged. And remember the shoulders, try to draw them down a little bit, draw the shoulder blades together. And then breathe, yogis, breathe. When you breathe in your belly, you feel your belly pushing the mat, it can lift you up. And when you exhale, one more time, you breathe in. And you breathe out, you release that little cobra. Take a moment, give your back a moment there to relax. Let's come back for the neck, round two. This time let's start with the left ear in the mat. Arms come on the side of the body and big toes together, heels fall out. So give that low back a few moments. Release. And let's turn the head now, the right ear settles in the mat. All right, let's come back to the middle again. Now we're coming up to our down dog. So what I'm going to do is come back to the cobra position with the hands. And I'm going to lift my feet up off the ground. I'm going to do is I'm going to push myself up just using my knees. So take a moment. We're going to go through that plank. So I want to brace the belly, squeeze the glutes, everything's tight, and then start to press yourself up off that mat using your knees. And then when you come all the way up, take a moment, bring your knees up a bit, a moment or two in our child's pose. So for my child's pose, I'm going to bring my knees open, out a little bit wide, but my feet are together. And then I'm going to start to sit back. And my knees, they need a little flossing. So I go a little forward and back a few times, especially if it's first thing in the morning, and they may need a little warm up. And then you just see some of you yogis can sit all the way back. You sit right back in your heels, and your forehead can rest in that. And you breathe now, deep breaths. So try to breathe into your belly. And in this position, you even feel your back expand a bit when you inhale. And then now let's slowly come out of our child's pose. And we'll come back to tabletop. So as you come up, take a moment. If your knees are wide, you want to bring your knees back in, right into the hips. Remember the hands right on the shoulders, fingers a little bit spread out. Now I'm going to curl my toes under, tuck them under. And I'm going to just start to pull in the belly a little bit, lift up the hips. And I'm going to see if I can't reach the hips a little up and back, so like a little diagonal. And let's walk the dog. Walk it out. First time you come into a down dog like this, nice to walk it. So you're just bending one knee at a time. You're going back and forth. Our down dog pose. And then let's just see if we can settle and take a few breaths. It can be tough if you're new to this pose. Over time, eventually, it becomes a very nice position. In the beginning, it can be tough, it can be a challenge. Just try to breathe in that. Breathe deep breaths there, right into your belly if you can. Now I'm going to slowly walk my hands. All right, I'm going to bring my hands back to my feet. Eventually, you bring your feet up to your hands, but it's for most of us, it's a lot easier to bring your hands back. Remember the soft fold when you get there, so knees a little bit bent. All right, we were here before. Maybe now we're a little bit deeper, hanging out there. Let the head release and just hang. And maybe those hamstrings are ready to be straightened out just a bit. What I'm going to do is come up a little bit, and I'm just going to do a little walking of the hamstrings, a little sashaying. See if you can do that. Coming up just in your fingertips. So you're bending one knee and then the other one straightens. And you may have a little curve to your back, but it's gentle. So it's just a little back and forth through the hamstring. And then I'll slowly come up. I'm going to walk my hands up the front of my legs. When you do that, you kind of automatically pull in your belly, helps protect your back. So you walk up, walk up, walk up. And then when you get up, you breathe in, you reach up, and this time you get a little side stretch. So as you breathe out, a little gentle stretch through one side of your body. You can let your other arm hang or give it support. We'll do that again for the other side. You inhale, lengthen the middle. And as you exhale, a little gentle. You come back, we breathe in, nice and tall. And as you exhale for those shoulders, let them come down slowly. Beautiful. All right, let's take a step up towards the top of our mat. We'll come back to our Tadasana. And I'm going to shift our angle a little bit. You're going to lose our feet just a bit. It's tough. We need bigger room. We'll see what we can do. So now we'll find a few standing poses, all right? We're going to come, first we'll come into our triangle pose. So what I'm going to do from this mountain pose, right from the top, find your breath. I'm going to start by stepping my left foot back a bit, not too far back, about halfway back. And I'm going to close my back foot just a bit. So I'm at about a 60-degree angle. You can adjust that and see. What I want to do for this pose is both legs are straight, right? Nice triangle right there in the legs. The arms are going to come out. And I'm just gonna do a little bit for the hips. I get a little sassy. So I'm kind of sliding the hips forward and back just to kind of floss them a little bit, if you will. And I start to feel that when that hip slides back, I feel that coming in my right hamstring a bit. So what I want to do is slide the hip back, reach out long, and when you're ready, just a little pivot. And it's in the morning, it's a gentle one. So gentle, our hands can be high up on our knees, can be on our quads. Some of you yogis, you can go lower if that feels okay. The hand could slide down your shin. I'm going to try to look up, but that can be very uncomfortable in the neck. You can look straight down too. That works as well. So the body's in one line. The legs are very active. Now I really want to cue your breathing here. Strong legs. That right leg's the quad can be engaged. And breathe. Try to breathe into your belly. Can you get that belly to expand out and exhale? Beautiful for your belly and your back. Breathe into your belly. Breathe out. One more breath. We breathe into the belly. We breathe out. And then as you inhale, you come back up. And as you exhale, just turn a moment. Take a moment in the center. Let your arms come down. Give that left side a moment or two. And then we're going to continue to pivot to the back. So we're skipping all those. In many classes, you do an up dog and a down dog. You do a little flow there. But we're going to just work through these poses. So back foot could be a little bit open. It could be about a 60-degree angle. Hips, do your little flossing, sassy, kind of get them moving a little bit. And when you're ready, let that right hip slide back. You reach out a little bit and you just do a little pivot, a little turn. And then try to really open up a bit to that right side. Breathe into the belly, yogis. You breathe out. You breathe in. You breathe out. And another breath now. Nice breath. Breathe into the belly. We breathe out. And then as you inhale, you come back up. And as you exhale, you turn again. Turn those hips. Let your arms come down. Take a moment. While we're here, just do a little bit for those hips if you want, a little back and forth. And I want to, next time we come through here, we'll do a little fold. So I just want to get a little ready for that. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm doing a little tiny internal rotation in my hips, which brings the heels out just a bit. And I've got nice active legs, and I'm really grounding in. The outside edges of my feet are like grabbing into the mat. You can almost feel that it's like opening your ankles up a little bit out. And I'm just going to take a moment or two and breathe in there. Next time we come to this, we're going to do a fold, working the hamstrings. But first, just establish a nice base. And breathe. When you're breathing, try to breathe right up through your legs. If that makes sense. And breathe out. All right, now let's turn it back and we'll step up to the Tadasana, to the mountain pose. Now our next pose is our warrior one. So I'm going to step my left foot back about the same amount, but this time I'm going to close that angle quite a bit. So my back foot's, it's about 60 degrees, maybe even a little more. My back leg is straight again, but my front leg for warrior one, I'm bending my knee just a bit. And then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to square the hips up a bit. Draw your right hip back just a bit. That can help bring the left hip forward. And it doesn't have to be perfectly square. If you try to do it too much and your angle's not closed enough, it's going to start to torque into your knee. I don't want that. I want that left hip and that left knee and those left feet, those toes, to be basically in one line. So strong energy, a line of energy through that back leg, reaching down on the ground. Strong energy in that right front leg. You're pressing the mat. And then when you're ready, you can inhale the arms up. And try to bring those shoulder blades down a bit. And try to find that breath in your belly here. Breathe into the belly. Strong legs. Breathe out. Breathe into the belly. We breathe out. And let's work a little more strength this time. So what I want you to try to do is I want you to drag your feet towards each other. We're not going to move, but just imagine dragging your right foot to your left. Your heels dragging, and you're breathing into your belly. You're breathing out. One more cue, if you can find that Mula Bandha. Your pelvic floor, you draw it in and pull it up. As you drag the legs together, you breathe in. You breathe out. Beautiful. And now as you inhale, let's come to that middle position. Let's rotate the hips a bit internally, go a little wider. Heels are out. We find a little fold. We breathe in. And as you exhale, you come down. Maybe just halfway, maybe a little less. I don't want to bend in my back. I want to feel that coming into the hamstrings. You can reach the hips a little bit back, head a little forward to get a little bit more stuff. Some of you might be able to get a little bit low. You might get your fingertips on the ground. Some of you maybe even go a little low. I don't want to curve through my back. So it's okay to be partway up. Beautiful. Strength here for your legs and for your core with that. And wherever you are, let's breathe into the belly. Strong legs. Breathe out. You breathe into the belly. We breathe out. And as you inhale, let's rise up. Breathe in. Beautiful. And as you exhale, I'm just going to turn to my warrior one to the left. So taking a moment, get that back. Foot in a nice angle, nice deep angle, maybe 60 degrees or so. Straighten that back leg out. Bend that front, that left leg down a bit. Try to bring that left hip back just a bit so the right hip can square up or close to square. And find that energy, that back right leg. Really, it's like you're grabbing into the mat with the outside edge of that foot again. Now breathe into the belly. Breathe out. Shoulders a little bit relaxed if you can. Breathing in. Breathing out. Adding that strength for the legs. Start to drag those feet together as you breathe in. And you breathe out. And add in that pelvic floor. You draw it together and you pull it up as you're dragging. You're breathing in. You're breathing out. Beautiful, yogis. And as you breathe in, let's open back up. And as you exhale, let's come all the way back to Tadasana. Take a moment. We have one more pose, our warrior two pose. So for this one, I'm going to take a big step back. My left leg, I'm going to step way back. May need to take a moment or two. We're lower now, and we're very open in the hip. So my back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. My front foot's perpendicular. And I'm trying to really square up that hip. Remember that movement we did in the beginning? We opened up to hip. We lifted it and opened it. That's where we're back to that now. Take a moment there. Look at your right knee. You want it to track as best you can in the middle of your right foot. You don't have to go too low. Dave's a little lower. I'm a little bit higher. You just adjust it a little bit. You'll feel the additional force on your quad. Our knees are bent over our ankles. Arms come out. And we just turn our gaze. And we just focus over one fingertip. Shoulders relaxed, but the arms don't sink. They stay floating to the top. Glutes can engage a bit if you like. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. We breathe in. We breathe out. And our next inhale, I'm going to release that tension. Come up. And as I exhale, I'm going to come to the middle. Take a moment. Arms come down. We're going to switch it now. So the front leg leads us. Back foot's parallel now to the mat. Front foot's perpendicular. Get a little bit lower if you like. Back leg is nice and straight. Best you can. Hips squared up. Left knee tracking down the middle of the foot. Maybe even a little bit towards your feet. So opening that hip space up. Arms can come out. And you find one focus point. Right in the tip of the finger is a nice place to settle in a strong legs. That left quad can be a little bit engaged. Press down the mat. And you breathe in right up through those legs. Let that belly come. That belly expand out as you breathe in. We breathe out. We breathe in. We breathe out. And on this next inhale, we're going to come up. And as we exhale, put your arms come down. Take a moment in the middle. Now I'm going to do a little toe heel. So I toe heel the feet together a little bit. I come up. I take a moment. Maybe Dave, you step back a little bit. We're going to finish with our true pose. All right, so a little finish with a little bit of balance. It's going to be a challenging pose. One-legged balance is for a moment if you need to be in your wall. So I'm going to start by I'm going to be gentle. Dave can be a little more aggressive. So he's going to bring his foot way up high. I'm going to keep it low. I'm right down here on my calf or my shin. You can even have your tips of your toes on the ground. Hands, it's nice to start with your center of gravity, with all your weight into the center. And then find one spot to focus on. I'm going to focus on just the screen. I'm going to look at it. And then I'm going to expand out. However you want to do that. You could keep your hands together if you want to. You can branch out. Just focusing the mind on one thing, just staring at one point. And while you focus, you relax. Right? There's like the key to a pleasant day, a pleasant experience during your day. You're very focused on whatever it is that's before you, and you're maintaining some level of awareness of your body, keeping your breath calm, keeping your body relaxed as you focus. So it's a beautiful pose to practice that. If you want to challenge it a little bit, you could try to look up. That little shift can make it a little bit more tricky. And slowly, let's come back to the center. Let's let that right side come down. Take a moment. If your left leg got a little bit, shake it out. We want to try to keep the tension out. Right? You need some tension to support yourself, but you don't need extra. All right, let's switch sides. However you want to start it, be gentle. If you are going to go high, it's good to grab your foot to bring it high up as best you can. I don't want to be like right on my knee, pressing into my knee. So find your place, find your focus. Settle in one spot. Open up if you like. You want to be symmetrical, you can. You want to be a little asymmetrical, you can, however you want. Focusing the gaze. Keeping the body relaxed. Maybe doing a little bit of help. You can kind of try to just soften a little bit the skin on your face, your forehead skin. Try to soften a little bit the area right between your eyes, right? Your eyebrows. Try to unfurrow them a bit. And if you're really feeling a little bit adventurous and you want to try to play around a little bit, you could try to close your eyes and just see how your body responds. If you fall out of your tree, we'll come and join you. You come back down. Take a moment, yogis. Let's come back to our Tadasana pose, right where we began. Take a nice breath in and a nice deep exhale out. Let that exhale out. Those exhales are wonderful for activating your parasympathetic nervous system. Let's do that again. Big breath in, and you exhale it out. And then you just find your natural breath. Find your natural breath, and then you could find your hands to your heart center, and we could all find a little namaste to end our practice and hopefully begin a wonderful, wonderful day. Namaste, yogis. Have a
Namaste.